Hello, good afternoon, and good morning, honey. I'm here with my coffee, and I just wanted to redo this video. I did it last night, but I wanted to redo it. So basically, what I was chatting about in my previous video is I find it quite literally ridiculous and absurd that, depending on where a person might live, reside, whatever, dictates what kind of produce or groceries or, food options and the quality that they are. Sorry, I got distracted with the birds out there. Okay. I think it's ridiculous that depending on where a person might live, why is it so hard to formulate this? It's not that hard. Depending on where a person lives dictates what the quality of the food that they are given. I think it's ridiculous that, sometimes people might have to go the extra mile, go above and beyond, go outside of their neighborhood to get better quality items. And I was just talking about how I think it's ridiculous that, a person has to pay extra for organics. And when I say this, not to undermine the work that was put into, producing that vegetable, the fruit, whatever. But I just think that genetically modified foods, things with pesticides and all that jazz, knowing that it's not the best quality to be serving people, shouldn't even be on the table. It shouldn't even be an option. And it's I just don't understand, why is it that for better quality foods, why is it it's just crazy that it's pricier sometimes, depending on where you are. I think it's crazy. And this is all coming from because yesterday I went grocery shopping. Okay, I was just really focused on getting out there, to be honest with you. And I was scanning my bananas, and I guess I picked up the organic bananas. I guess I glossed over it, to be honest with you, because, in full transparency, when I was at the banana aisle or whatever, there was a person who seemed to be cute. I didn't get a full glance at them, so I was just I was getting a little or whatever, so I just picked it up and I went. Then I'm checking out or whatever, it's a self-checkout, and then here comes the worker from behind me, oh wait, and stops me from scanning and puts in the proper numbers for it being organic. I was like, whoa. I'm okay. I was taken aback because, for me personally, it's never that serious, especially when it comes to, for me, it wouldn't have been serious. I don't really care, me personally, when I used to have jobs or whatever, when I used to work in food and everything, I would be giving extra. Okay, I'm not, they tell you how much food to put, and sometimes it's just a little bit, right? Nobody wants that. When you go to Chipotle and you get this much of guacamole, nobody wants whatever that is of guacamole. Okay, give me more rice, please give me more whatever. I'm not, because these companies, whatever, they have the freaking money. Anyway, so that's where this is coming from. And so that caught me off guard, because that's what I'm saying, because I know I wouldn't care, because I just think it's ridiculous that there's an extra charge for something being produced the natural way. And I just think that it's ridiculous that the lower quality items are more accessible in lower income communities. I just don't think that's fair. I think it's ridiculous. Why is it that people with higher income, why are they getting catered to with better quality things? That's ridiculous. And I live in New York, and you see that 100%, okay, within these neighborhoods here. It's just ridiculous. A person's income or wherever they're living shouldn't dictate, what they have access to or what they should settle for. You know what I mean? I think that everyone should be able to, you know, just to have enjoy the finer things in life and enjoy the higher quality things. Like, you know, it's just crazy. But yeah, that's like just like really it. That's what I really was talking about in my last video or whatever. It's a very beautiful day today. The sun is out. Like, I was outside feeding the cats and I was like soaking in the sun. Ugh, gratitude. There's just something about the sun, man. There's just something about the sun that'll really do it for me. The sun really does it for me, honey. So yeah, I'm having my coffee, then I'm gonna do some yoga, and carry on to get ready to head on out. I have to go back to that grocery store. I have to get some cat food. I'm all out for cat food. It's fine. It's chill. As long as they had their breakfast, so that's fine. But yeah, that's just like really what I'm just like on about. I just think it's ridiculous how all is just set up, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me because I'm sure this country, whatever the hell, there's more than enough money. There's more than enough money. Let's not even get into the fact that it's just like not even real, you know, when you bring up the fact that like, oh, why don't you just print more money? There's always some person who comes up with some excuse. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't care as to why we cannot print more money. Whatever. But, you know. But like, yeah, it wasn't like, and I'm not even mad with that person, the worker, whatever, for doing that, whatever, for doing their job. But me as well, too. Like, I've just learned from the jobs that I did have, I'm not going above and beyond for any job. Because just from the few years that I had working there, you're literally just a worker. You're not really seen as a person, you know, whatever. And especially wouldn't go above and beyond to charge a person. It literally, like, the bananas like literally just came up to like $1 extra. It was literally just $1 extra. So I was like, okay, whatever. But you know, to wrap this all up, I believe everybody should have access to, you know, better quality things. Nobody wants like listen, if it's anything that's made in the lab by humans, like with, like I said, genetically modified, whatever, all that stuff, to some extent it's not that good. The quality won't be that great. You know, preferably to have something that comes from the earth as it's supposed to fucking be. I don't really think that there is a need to be making fruits and vegetables, or like, I know they're thinking about like making like imitation like chicken or meat or substitute meat in labs. We have tofu, honey. We have tofu. We have mushrooms. We have a lot of things that we can use as a substitute. We don't listen. And I'm a vegetarian, okay? I know I tried to be vegan, but occasionally, in full transparency, I will have a slice or I will have ice cream. So that is why I cannot claim to be 100% vegan. But, you know, what the hell was I even saying before saying I'm a vegetarian? Oh yeah, I'm a vegetarian, and I've had my fair share of, you know, just like the veggie patties and all that stuff. And they're good, but that is just something you must have. Limit yourself with that, because like I said, if it's anything that's made in the lab, all that you need is already comes from the earth. All that you need. The herbs, honey. The herbs to, you know, abort mission and all that stuff comes from the earth, honey. Everything we need comes from the earth. So I promise you, when I say I don't need no motherfucker cooking up or making up my stuff at a goddamn lab or spraying anything on my food, pesticide, whatever side, don't want it. Okay. And all this, like, it all just comes from a place of just freaking greed. It's just like wanting to rush and just make money, just like stop that shit. Like, it goes even beyond that when they're just pumping up the animals, the cows, the chickens, hormones, and everything of nature, all just to fucking keep producing and make money. Fucking ridiculous, fucking insane. That's ridiculous. And that's where people get so jaded. Not people, but corrupted companies or whatever get so fucking, like I said, jaded, if that's even the word, if that's the word that I'm wanting right now, that they fail to just even recognize that, these animals are fucking living beings. They have freaking feelings. Like, they're not just something for you to, first of all, don't even get me started on why the hell we're even drinking cow milk. I mean, at this point, just go up to a cow and drink from its tit. We're not supposed to be drinking cow milk. If we were supposed to be drinking cow milk, we would have come out of our mother's vagina a calf. Milk is really just for infants. We don't really freaking need it beyond a certain point. Like, these are like living beings. So is the earth when you're putting stuff in there to fasten things or whatever the hell. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, on a brighter note, I saw a hawk this morning, and I just saw a raven. I believe I saw a raven because it looked really big. I'm beginning to really tell the difference between a crow and a raven. Well, you always can tell because, like, you'll see a crow and you'll be like, it's pretty big. That's how you know it ain't a crow, a raven. But I saw those two, the blue jays, the sparrows, mourning doves. Did I see any mourning doves? No, I don't think so. Starlings. I saw starlings. The sun is shining bright, honey. I can't complain. I can't complain. I can't complain. I spent my morning making my coffee, listening to the Kinks, Midday Sun, and Sitting by the Riverside are the two songs that I are, like, really vibing to, like, really, that really just feels like my vibe for today. And I was also reflecting on the fact how I remember this one time I was hanging out with this person, I think it was for the first time, they hit me with the, what do you do for work? You seem like you don't have a job. And I thought that was funny. I was like, I didn't, like, how can you tell a person doesn't, like, have a job? I was asking my mom, and she was like, oh, you seem like you don't have a job because you seem very relaxed. Boom. Boom. I don't want to be anything other than relaxed. And of course, things happen, but I'm not subjecting myself to any misery. Okay, I'm going to do my yoga now. I'm getting distracted. I'm just dilly-dallying. I'm just talking longer.